for the nookie. The what? The nookie. The what?
Beat me to it. I was working my way over.
You weren't going to do a Limp Bizkit bit, dude. I was going to do it.
I meant the keyboard.
What's your favorite Limp Bizkit song?
Can I say the one with Korn?
Sure.
It's the like All in the Family.
Yes.
It's such a stupid song, and I know that even Jonathan Davis does not like that song, but I think it's so stupid, and I love it.
You're to hear first. Welcome to Haunts, Graves, and Omens. My name is Fred Stewart, and with me, just about as always, my lovely co-host.
It's me. It's Taylor. Hi.
What's up?
What's up?
What's going on?
Not much.
What's going on, Shorty?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my Got Ghost mug.
Are you drinking gin?
Perhaps.
Is there tonic in there too, or just gin?
Let's not get into details. I don't want to fight tonight.
I'm just curious.
What if I said it was just tonic?
I'd say that's fucking disgusting.
It's gin and tonic. It's disgusting.
Because it's just fucking tonic.
I bet there's some argue out there that gin and tonics are disgusting. To that I say, fuck you.
I don't like gin and tonics either.
Fuck you.
Okay, a little violent there.
You
but okay.
You can have an opinion, even if I don't agree with it.
No?
Because I'm an adult. See? When someone has an agreement or I have a disagreement with someone, you know, I just go, well, they have a different opinion than me. I don't storm the Capitol. Now, I might go there for a visit. I'll be like, I'm going to run.
Not on January 6th, though, I assume.
No. It's cold out. I want to visit D.C. I want to do it during the summer. Go visit some museums. Now, I'm not going to storm the Capitol, but the Vatican, you better fucking watch
You're going to
it.
get yourself put on a fucking list.
There is no chance I'm not already on a watch list.
Yeah?
I'm just yeah. You know, with all the shit that I was researching this week, because I was just getting a bunch of episode ideas, and I was like, oh, it's an episode. Write an episode. And I go, that's too long for this week. And then I start researching another one, start writing it, and I go, that's going to be also too long for this week. And I just did that over and over again. In order: Family Annihilator, serial killer, terrorism. In that exact order. And then followed by, once again, serial killers.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're definitely on a list.
Oh, dude, it's not good. It's definitely not good. But I do for the sake of the show. Our set isn't, it's fine.
Falling apart.
It's falling apart.
Mainly because of our cat.
Yeah, it's really funny. We built this set. I was like, we'll get a new table eventually.
Yeah.
But now we're going to end up be moving soon. So I'm not going to even fucking bother to change the set. I have an ideas for the next HGO set. We'll talk about it later. But no major news this week.
I was going to look, and then we started, and I never got a chance.
Nothing important happened in the last week or so. I know we're late. I'm sorry. I think someone got elected again or something. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
I was.
Who cares?
I care. I care deeply.
The government doesn't care about us, and they never will.
They don't. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I'm just waiting for whoever gets in office to finally approve my CIA budget, and then I'll be good.
It's not happening.
Man, listen. It's a good idea. My idea is a good idea.
You know who you can pitch it to?
Go ahead.
RFK Jr. He'd probably be on board.
The thing is, I don't think that's going to be the best idea. I don't believe that.
How stoked are you for organic Doritos?
It's going to be great. And I think that when I left that bear in Central Park, just left it there, I figured that was the best place to be. Because bears like nature.
Yeah. Get this man in office. Listen, I'm not very political. Then we're already starting off this show with me being quite political. I absolutely adore making fun of both sides.
Yeah.
Because it's the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because, and this is me telling this to you. And a lot of our listeners aren't American, right?
They're not?
No, we have a lot of worldwide listeners.
Wow. What has happened?
Whoa, excuse me. The settings just change? That's crazy. Hold on, let me fix that.
We're back.
I have several questions on what just happened.
Fuck.
Anyway, what I was gonna say is that if you believe full-heartedly that your particular person that you want to elect is gonna save you, you're wrong. They don't care. Example 1, the CIA. Don't do it. Example 2, FBI. Any 3-letter agency. And there's one that's even worse than those two.
FDA?
I was going to say the IRS, but that's funny. That's true. I have quite the story for us this week, Tay.
Hell yeah.
And I told you what we're covering, but do you remember?
No.
No, you don't. That's okay. Look at Taylor's cool threads I got her. Look at these things.
It's like a blanket.
It's a blanket hoodie.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be our anniversary soon.
Yes. It's a lot like a Snuggie, which I know we're controversial, but I fucking loved
Controversial?
Snuggies. Yes.
Were Snuggies controversial?
Yes. People hated Snuggies.
Oh. Were they made like blood diamonds are made?
No, they were just
15 children lost their hands to create one Snuggie.
I loved
You
Snuggies.
too can save the hands of poor orphan children from having to hand-stitch Snuggies.
No, they were just made in China. It's fine.
Oh, thank God.
No one lost their hands, probably.
Yeah, they just can't say that on YouTube. Sewer slided themselves.
There you go. It's going.
Your iPhones, God, people do sewer slide themselves. Anyways, so
we're getting canceled really early on in this episode.
Dude. We're already 8 minutes in. You want to talk about shit that we said that could have gotten us canceled? Episode 1 of Haunts,
I
Graves,
don't
and
want to
Omens.
talk about it.
10 times. Recorded it 10 times. I didn't know how to edit. Said some questionable shit. Listen, I don't think the gays are that bad, but
That was not.
I think they're pretty cool. All right.
I would agree.
I don't know, dude.
You're not.
Don't fucking point at me.
You're not.
No, Taylor made a questionable joke about 9/11. Not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
That sounds like a bit,
It's not.
but it's true. Thought it would be a really fun bit. Turns out,
Not a real fun
it was
bit.
pretty funny. But it was like, we can't say that. The funniest part about it, I'm not going to tell you what the joke was, but the funniest part about it is that Taylor says the joke, looks at me, and immediately starts crying. Because that joke wasn't funny. I'm like, God. Can't imagine we're going to get through 10 episodes of this. Now it's over 3 years later.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys ready to get into this shit or
Ready.
what? All right. So, on February 16th, 2002, 21-year-old Keena Nicole Cook was walking out the front door of her aunt's home in Tacoma, Washington. And she suddenly just drops. The sound of a gun report is heard. Cook's aunt, Isa Nichols, had been good friends with some of the people involved in this case, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But who did this case, or who did this murder, and what would they continue to do, and how would it continue to escalate as the time goes on? Let's find out. This is the story of the DC Snipers, aka the Beltway Snipers.
Right. I
Yes.
forgot. You told me, and I just.
So our two primary suspects in the focal point of the story are going to be John Allen Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo. These are the DC snipers.
Okay.
We're going to talk about maybe some of their motives and the reasons why they went on to do what some would call serial killer motives, but I would call domestic terrorism at this point.
Okay.
Because it on paper it reads like a serial killer,
Yeah.
traveling from place to place, killing people, right?
Yeah.
But to me, looking at this, and it's going to sound like a strange statement, looking into terrorism, like researching,
Yeah.
preface, not for educational purposes for the show. Okay. I make a lot of killdozer jokes, but those are only jokes. Just putting that out there. And the reason I do is because we don't typically link serial killers to terrorism, right?
Right.
Okay, but traditionally, when it comes to serial killers, there is this widespread terror. An example, Ted Bundy, right?
Yes.
Was particularly targeting young women with brown hair,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Caused a whole fucking revolution. People start shaving their heads, changing their haircuts,
Yeah.
right? Same thing happened like in the Son of Sam case. Everybody started changing their haircuts, right?
Yeah.
Changing the way they look.
Right.
It's just one of those things. And that, to me, reads like an act of terrorism,
Yeah.
right? Whether it is intended to be terrorism or not, questionable.
Right.
But to me, this reads like that. So we're going to start off with John Allen Muhammad.
Okay.
So John Allen Muhammad was born John Allen Williams in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, known as one of the safest cities in America.
I don't believe you.
Go on. Why don't you believe me?
I've not heard of Baton Rouge being on any of the top 10 safest cities lists.
You'd be correct. Baton Rouge is very unsafe. I believe it's one of the most unsafe cities in Louisiana. It might be the top if you're able to look into that. I bet it's the top, like the least unsafe city in Louisiana. I might be incorrect, but I bet it's up there. So he's born to Ernest and Eva Williams. John and his family moved to New Orleans, when his mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. Unfortunately, she passed away from this when he was 3 years old. His father left the family soon afterward, leaving John to be raised mainly by his maternal grandmother and an aunt. In 1987, at the age of 26, Williams joined the Nation of Islam and subsequently helped provide security for the, quote, Million Man March. In 1995, Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan has publicly distanced himself and the organization that has become known as the DC Sniper Attacks. So in 1999, Williams kidnapped his children and took them to Antigua, apparently engaging in a credit card and immigration document fraud. It was during this time became close with Lee Boyd Malvo, a Jamaican child who later acted as his partner in the killings. And we'll dive into that a little bit later. Williams then changed his name to John Allen Muhammad in October 2001. After his arrest, authorities claimed that Muhammad admitted that he admired and modeled himself after none other than Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda and approved of the September 11th attacks. This is one of the reasons why some people might call it like a serial killer thing. I think it's straight up. I mean, it definitely is just straight up just terrorism.
Yeah. So, looked into it. Hammond is the most unsafe city in Louisiana. However, as of October 9th, 2024, sorry, I'm awful. Baton Rouge is among the top 10 least safest cities in the United States.
Yep, checks out.
So, there's that.
Yes.
It's like right behind New Orleans.
Great. Seems great.
Yeah.
Go for a visit. So Muhammad was twice divorced. His second wife, Mildred Muhammad, sought and was granted a restraining order alleging abuse. Muhammad was arrested on federal charges of violating restraining order by possessing a weapon. Not great. Under federal law, those restraining orders are prohibited from purchasing or possessing guns as per the amendment of the Gun Control Act of 1968. Now, and we do see this, when last time I bought my rifle, I think it was the last weapon I bought, there was a whole form you had to fill out, and they were like, have you been convicted of domestic violence in the last X amount of years? And I was like, because obviously it's been so long since I buy, when I buy my weapons, it's very spaced out, you know, because I'm like, I got cash, and I don't really like, I'm not really I'm a gun guy. I like guns.
Yeah.
But like, it's very like, I just like, I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But all the shit I buy is for practical use, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like one where like, this one will light a cigar and shoot 40 millimeter and 45. Like, it's fucking just something random,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, to be fair, if you bought a bunch of weapons at once, I think that might put you higher on whatever list you're on. So, kind of.
You're buying a lot of weapons at once. Also, one thing that speaking of buying a lot of weapons at once,
Listening.
this is totally out of like left field, and this has nothing to do with the story. I have a coworker friend of mine who has a friend down in Texas.
Yeah.
Right? And they went to like a Comic-Con kind of style event down there, and there's somebody passing out pamphlets out front. And I was like, "Oh, would you like do you believe in God or whatever?" And it's like, not really, but whatever. And goes, "Well, just take a pamphlet anyway." So they take a pamphlet, and they're like, whatever. And they start walking to wherever they're going. They look down. It's the fucking Branch Davidians. The Branch Davidians are back.
I'm not surprised.
They're back.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think they'd be gone.
They're still in Waco apparently. So.
Huh. Well, you know.
Heaven's Gate's here. Branch Davidians are back.
Did they ever really leave?
Branch Davidians?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good
I don't
question.
think so I'm gonna say they probably never actually left.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fucking wild, though.
Let's hop back into Muhammad's story.
Yeah.
So in August 1978, Muhammad enlisted in the Louisiana Army National Guard at Baton Rouge as a combat engineer. He transferred to the regular army on November 6, 1985, and was trained as a mechanic, truck driver, and specialist metal worker. He was qualified with the Army's standard rifle, which at the time was the M16, which I'm not sure if it still is, earning him the Expert Rifleman's Badge. This is the Army's highest of 3 levels of basic marksmanship for a soldier. Muhammad's first tour was with the 15th Engineer Battalion at Fort Lewis, which is Fort Lewis McChord, which is in northern Washington.
Right.
And 1985 and 1991, he served in the Gulf War with a company that dismantled Iraqi chemical warfare rockets, service for which he received the Southwest Asia Service Medal, the Kuwait Liberation Medal, and the Kuwait Liberation Medal, Kuwait and Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
In 1992, he was at Fort Ord in California with the 13th Engineers. In 1993, he was back in Fort Lewis with the 14th Engineer Battalion. So, had a pretty good military career.
Yeah. Was
going out there fighting the Gulf War, was helping fucking stir some shit up.
Yeah.
Right? So, Muhammad then was dishonorably discharged from the Army with the rank of sergeant on April 26th of 1994 after 16 years of service.
Damn.
Yeah, he had a very lengthy career. That's a solid career.
Yeah.
He received the following awards: the Army Service Ribbon, National Defense Medal, Overseas Ribbon, Non-Commissioned Officers, Professional Development Ribbon, and the Army Achievement Medal. He's quite decorated.
Yeah.
16 years. Did a lot of cool shit. You know, probably can't really speak on it. I don't really know what that stuff does. Might have to call Dan. He can tell me what that stuff is. He'd probably be like, lame.
Yeah.
Since he was combat infantry, be like, do you blow anything up? Like, I don't know. He's like, pussy. Fucking probably just hang up on me.
Probably.
anything that I show him, I'm like, look at this. He's like, did that. I'm like, all right, dude.
You're no fun.
The photos that he has showed me
Yeah.
are horrible. It's like, that's a dude's face. I'm like, well, where's the rest of them? And he was like, everywhere.
Somewhere else.
As for the other half of the party, Lee Boyd Malvo was born February 18th, 1985, to Leslie Malvo, a mason, and Una James, a seamstress. What is going on?
Fuck? Hello?
Hold on. Cut to yours.
Cut into mine. Hi, I'm here. I have the dog. She's sleeping. She's snuggling. We're apparently just gonna have camera issues. Is the dog? She's here. She's hanging out. Why does it do that?
Alright, somebody fucked it up.
Well, I don't touch the camera, so. Bruiser.
Probably.
Because he's a fucking menace sometimes. Oh,
Anyway.
hi. Look at us. We're so professional.
Back to it. So, so the couple never married, lived in Kingston, Jamaica. Una left Leslie in 1990 when Lee Malvo was 5 years old. Una and Lee moved to the hill town of Endeavour, Jamaica, to be with her sister Marie Lawrence for almost a year. They moved back to Kingston and later to St. Martin. When Malvo was 9 years old, he was sent to live with his Aunt Marie, where he stayed for almost another year. On the passing of his sixth grade exams, Lee was sent to New York Castle High School. Jamaica pastor Lorenzo King baptized Malvo on the 17th Day Adventist Church at 14 years old in 1999. Malvo then moved to Antigua in 1999 to be with his mother. He registered and at the Seventh Day Adventist School, where he got good grades and also won a school award for the 100-meter race. So far, other than, talking about Muhammad's crimes of weapons charges and things like that,
there's not anything that would really put these guys.
No, if you just look at these two dudes without looking at least Muhammad's crimes that we just talked about, it's a decorated service member and just a kid who was baptized, got really good grades.
Yeah.
Was in track and shit, and was broke the school award, the record. So at what point does it turn to murder?
Oh, I'm sure we're about to get there.
Well, we'll get there in a moment. So Malvo and his mother Una first met John Al Muhammad in Antigua and Barbuda around 1999, where she and Muhammad developed a strong friendship. Later, Una left Antigua, probably butchering that name, for Fort Myers, Florida, using false documents. She left her son with Muhammad, reportedly planning to have him follow her later. Malvo was then converted to Islam by Muhammad in March 2001. And what does a dude do to brainwash a kid? Fucking isolates him. Completely isolates him from his mother.
Yeah.
She's in a completely different country. Isolates him. Right? So,
not hard to do.
No.
Given the situation.
So, Malvo then illegally immigrates to Miami in 2001. In December of that year, he and his mother were apprehended by Border Patrol agents in Bellingham, Washington.
Oh.
So, CBP comes out, snatches him up. In January 2002, Malvo was released on a $1,500 bond. Malvo subsequently lived in a homeless shelter with Muhammad in Bellingham, Washington. Malvo then enrolled in Bellingham High School, with Muhammad falsely claiming that he was his father. He did not make any friends, according to his classmates, and was overall a loner during this time. I imagine it's probably because you're in a new place.
Yeah.
You had to who knows what happened during his journey to get to the United States.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't very good.
No.
And then this dude is fucking brainwashing you, right?
Yeah.
And I mean that in the sense of isolates him from his mom and was I'm the only one you can trust kind of shit.
Yeah.
Now that's fucking with your head. So the person that you associate with love and kindness just isn't, you're not able to have that connection, so now you got to deal with this fucking guy who you barely know, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of weird. So while in Tacoma, Washington, according to statements to investigators, Malvo shoplifted a Bushmaster XM15 from a Bullseye shooter supply and practiced marksmanship on the Bullseye's firing range adjacent to the gun shop. Did everybody get that? Shoplifted
Yes.
Bushmaster XM15.
I don't know what that is.
It's like an AR-15.
I cannot picture it, but
Pull up a photo.
I got you.
Okay. Shoplifted a rifle.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. Shoplifted a rifle, went to the gun range next door to shoot it. No questions.
Oh.
So under federal law, neither Muhammad nor Malvo were legally allowed to purchase weapons or possess them. Both were, it was like one is not even at the time even illegally allowed to have one, and also he was illegally immigrated, and the other one has felonies.
Yeah.
So it's like, no.
Not
No.
great.
So then we cut back to when I started with the story at February 16, 2002. 21-year-old Keenan Nicole Cook walks out her front door of her aunt's house, is shot. Right? So Isa Nichols, her aunt, had been good friends with John Al Muhammad's ex-wife, Mildred, and had encouraged her to seek a divorce.
Damn.
So she was probably the intended target.
Yeah.
And seeing as I assume it was probably Malvo who shot, Muhammad probably was like, whoever steps out the door first, fucking shoot her.
Yeah.
Shoots her. It's the wrong person.
Yeah.
So, just a month later, on March 19, 2002, Jerry Taylor, who's 60 years old, was killed by a single shot to the chest, fired from long range as he practiced chip shots in Tucson, Arizona, on a Tucson, Arizona golf course. So Muhammad's sister lived near the golf course, and he was visiting her at the time of the shooting.
Shit.
So, no reason
Yeah. Other than
just to go and shoot someone in the chest.
That's fucking crazy.
Right? There was no, like, crazy motive in the back of the head of, like, there's no real motive or really justification for any killing. But it's like, Dahmer and these guys have, like, types. Like Bundy has types. They don't kill these people because of their fucking delusion, right?
Yeah.
He just went out and shot this fucking guy for no reason.
That's crazy.
Completely no reason. So, skip forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? August 1st, 2002. John Gaeta, 51, was changing a flat tire slashed by Malvo in the parking lot in Hammond, Louisiana.
Oh.
Right? So, went from
set him up. Yeah.
Tacoma to Tucson, Arizona, Louisiana.
Yeah.
So Malvo then shoots John in the neck.
Jesus.
The bullet exited through his back. When he pretended to be dead while Malvo stole his wallet. John then ran to his service station after Malvo left and disappeared. That he was and discovered that he was bleeding. He went to the hospital and was released within an hour. He survived.
Oh shit.
So, first killing, definitely the premeditation. I feel like to go kill that lady, the aunt, right? Second killing, completely random. Third killing seems like more like a robbery.
Yeah, I think so. Like in terms of like how our laws is, one like the first one is like first degree, right?
I think it's all first degree.
I mean, first degree, like
Either define a premeditation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it all seems like premeditation.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like if Malvo went up to John and was like, "Give me your shit," and they're fighting for it, and he fucking shoots him.
Right.
Then he died. That'd be like second degree murder. They can't really define the intent. Every one of these is definitely first degree murder.
Yeah.
But looking at this from a national scale, all these are completely different shootings.
Yeah.
Right?
So they're not gonna.
They're not tracking them.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're random. They're completely random.
Yeah.
Right. They're happening in completely different parts of the country.
One-offs.
One-offs at a time. at this point, months apart.
Yeah.
So we go forward another month, right? September 5th of 2002 at 10:30 p.m. Paul LaRuffa, 55-year-old pizza owner, was shot 6 times at close range while locking up his Italian restaurant in Clinton, Maryland. LaRuffa survived the shooting, and his laptop computer was found in Muhammad's car when he and Malvo were arrested later on. That's how he got linked. But as far as I know, didn't steal anything. Just came out, shot him 6 times.
Jesus.
Right? Now, this is where this section is a big, like, berserker mode.
Okay.
Like, you familiar with that term?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, for those who don't know, it's like killers will often get this berserker mode where they'll kill one off, die down a little bit.
Yeah.
Kill one off, die down a little bit, kill one off. And this one is back to back to back to back to back. So, we were in Clinton, Maryland on the 5th. September 14th, 2002. 22-year-old Roberta Benny. Oh my goodness. Bori. Probably butchering that. So sorry. Usually I put like little notes in how to say last names. Guess I didn't put this in there. So Benny was an employee of the Hillendale Beer and Wine Liquor Store in Spring Silver, Maryland, and he was shot in the back while outside the store. So he ends up surviving, right? The shooting was officially linked to Muhammad and Malvo by the Montgomery County Police Department later on during the investigation after they were captured.
Okay. So like,
But at the time,
first time, don't know.
But it just, so they shoot Paul close range 6 times on the 5th. Shoot Benny, in the back on the 14th. We could then go to the 15th, the next day. Muhammad Rashid was shot while closing the Three Roads liquor store in Brandywine, Maryland. He also survived, later testified in court, and identified Malvo as the shooter. Fucking saw him do it.
Yeah.
So, we then go forward a little bit more on the 21st of September 2002. It's 12:15 a.m. and 41-year-old Milton A. Waldarium was fatally shot in the head and the back with a .22 caliber pistol in Atlanta, Georgia. Now they're down in Georgia. So Waldarium was helping the owner of Sammy's package store close up for the night and was just helping him lock up doors.
Yeah.
And then was just shot.
Jeez.
Completely randomly. All these are completely randomly.
Yeah.
Right? 19 hours later on the same day. Claudine Parker, a 52-year-old liquor store clerk in Montgomery, Alabama, was shot in the chest and killed in her robbery. Her coworker, 24-year-old Kelly Adams, was critically wounded with a shot through the neck but survived.
Oh, shit.
So, evidence found at the crime scene eventually tied this killing to the Beltway Snipers, Beltway attacks, and allowed authorities to identify Muhammad and Malvo as suspects, although this connection was not made until October 17th, almost 4 weeks later, and we're not fucking done. We're not even close to being done yet. We're not even to the DC sniper part.
Yeah.
This is just all the other murders and attempted murders.
That's crazy. Okay.
So, still in September.
Yeah.
September 23rd, 2002. 6:30 p.m., 45-year-old Hong M. Bellinger was shot in the head and killed with a Bushmaster rifle in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And then, seemingly, once again, no reason.
Oh, no. Okay.
She did not survive.
Okay.
No reason. All these killings have no reason.
Yeah.
The first initial shooting we talked about,
Yeah.
like months prior, I could see a premeditation and be like, we're trying to kill this person. All the rest of them, they're just shooting people just to fucking kill people and shoot people. There's no reason why they're doing this other than to cause fear.
Yeah.
But it's so spread out that on a national scale,
gonna put it together.
no one's going to put it together. So, the way they were doing these shootings is that they had a 1990 Chevrolet Caprice, which was driven by Muhammad, and Malvo was in the back with like a hole cut out near like the rear.
Okay.
So like he could like effectively like lay down and look out this hole and fire his rounds off
Okay.
while Muhammad could drive.
It's crazy.
And it's not like they roll down the window, rifle comes out, they
Right.
do like that. It
Like
is
you
completely can't tell where the shots are coming from.
Yeah.
Right? So this allowed them to remain hidden and escape the scenes following their attacks. So we then going to go to D.C., like the D.C. area, right?
Yeah.
In Montgomery County, Maryland. At 5:20 p.m. on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2002, a shot was fired through the window of a Michael's Craft store in Aspen Hill, Maryland. The bullet narrowly, like
Yeah.
fraction, missed Ann Chapman, a cashier at the store.
Jeez.
Fucking rips right past her head. Since no one was injured, the shot was assumed to be random and no serious alarms were raised. No, they're like, well, you know, bullets shopping at the craft store. You know, bullets, they love their quilts and shit.
You just need to pick up a couple yards of fabric.
These sales are insane. However, approximately 1 hour later,
Yeah.
6:30 p.m., James Martin, a 55-year-old program analyst at NOAA, was shot and killed on Randolph Road in the parking lot of a Shoppers Food Warehouse grocery store located in Wheaton. Hour later. So they went
So
from
Kicking
months to days to hours
it up. Okay.
of killings or attempted killings.
Right.
Like, that berserker mode's getting real fucking, like, real straight and narrow.
Yeah.
You know? Like, they're not, like, just kind of hiding anymore
Right.
and being like, oh, we did this. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Or, like, let's just start fucking blasting people and see whatever.
Yeah. That's fucking
It's insane.
crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
So, on the morning of October 3rd, 4 people were shot dead within a span of approximately 2 hours in Aspen Hill and other nearby areas of Montgomery County. Another was killed later that evening in Tacoma neighborhood in the District of Columbia. We'll talk about all those. 4 people.
Jeez. Okay.
So, at 7:41 a.m., James L. Buchanan, a 39-year-old landscaper known as Sonny, was shot dead on the Rockfield Pike near Rockfield, Maryland. Buchanan was shot while mowing the grass at Fitzgerald Auto Malls, like an auto retailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Within 20 minutes, at 8:37 a.m., Sarah Ramos, a 34-year-old babysitter and housekeeper, was killed at the Leisure World Shopping Center in Norbeck. She had gotten off the bus at Connecticut Avenue and was seated on a bench reading a book at the time of her murder.
Okay.
Cut forward in like an hour and a half later, right? At 9:58 a.m., 25-year-old Lori Ann Lewis Rivera was killed while vacuuming her Plymouth Grand Voyager at the Shell station at the intersection of Connecticut and Knowles Avenues in Kensington, Maryland. The snipers waited until 9:20 p.m. before shooting Pascal Charlotte, a 72-year-old retired carpenter, while he was walking on Georgia Avenue at Camille Road in Washington, D.C. Charlotte died less than an hour later. In each shootings, the victims were killed by a single bullet fired from a distance, and in each case, the killers were struck, then vanished. This pattern was not detected until after the October 3rd shootings, because police were responding to one shooting after another, after another, after another.
Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck is happening? No idea. So naturally, everybody freaks the fuck out because there's somehow somebody's getting these shots off and just shooting random fucking people.
Right.
Right? At a press conference, Chief of Police Montgomery County, Charles Moose, informed parents that schools were on blue code alert, keeping children indoors, going full fucking lockdown. Right? He said that we're trying to keep schools safe. Many parents picked up their children early at school, not allowing them to take a school bus or walk home. Montgomery County Public Schools, District of Columbia Public Schools, and private schools went into full lockdown. No recess, no outdoor activities, nothing. Like, it's quiet as a fucking church mouse. Nothing.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is the responsible thing to do, right?
Oh, absolutely.
They're like, no, we don't want to see anything happening here, right? No movement, no nothing. So, other school district area also took precautionary measures, keeping students indoors. During the course of the shootings, law enforcement agencies from neighboring states became embedded in the investigation through telephone tips. They started immediately establishing a hotline, started trying to find out what the hell is going on, right? So police only had a few pieces of evidence to work with. One initial report said that right after the Silver Spring attack, someone had reportedly heard a popping noise and had seen a white box truck hurriedly leaving the scene. After the murder in Washington, D.C., witnesses began telling the police that they had seen a blue Chevrolet Caprice rather than a white box truck. Police initially believed that all of the murders were carried out by a .223 caliber rifle. Right?
Yeah.
So, the stolen Bushmaster XM15 rifle used by Mohammed Malvado during the attacks. It was fitted with a Bushnell holographic weapon sight and a bipod and a 20-round magazine at the time of their capture. At this point, Malvo and Muhammad started covering a wider area and taking 2 or 3 days between the shootings, which is still like, I mean, that Berserker mode, it's still active.
Yeah.
But they're like, okay, let's calm down.
Yeah.
Because killing 4 people in one day is fucking absurd.
Yeah.
You don't even see, like, I don't think you ever see serial killers do that.
Right.
Unless it's like them annihilating an entire family.
Yeah.
You know? So on October 4th, 43-year-old homemaker Caroline Sewell was shot and wounded in the chest at 2:30 p.m. in the parking lot of another Michael's store in Spotsylvania. Oh my God, Spotsylvania. Jesus Christ, I can't even say that. Spotsylvania Mall. Jeez. And you guessed it,
Maryland?
Spotsylvania.
Oh.
Yes. While she was loading purchases into her minivan. By this point,
yeah,
hundreds of journalists and had to converge to cover the unfolding events. Schools kept saying, like, don't worry, we're doing everything we can, and just started canceling everything that involved people being outdoors.
Yeah.
But like when, the weekend passed without an incident, like the lessons resumed, everything went back to normal. Immediately after, shooting starts again. October 7th at 8:09 a.m., Iran Brown, 13-year-old student, was shot in the chest and critically wounded as he arrived at the Benjamin Tasker Middle School on Cullington Road in Bowie, Maryland, in the Prince George's County. 13 years old.
Jesus.
Gets shot in the chest.
That's the first, child, right?
Mm-hmm. Shooting children now. His aunt, Tanya Brown, was a nurse who had just brought him to school. She rushed him to an emergency room. Despite sustaining just horrible gunshot wound to the chest, including damage to his several organs, he survives the attack.
Oh my God.
And is later in court and testifies against him and goes, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
Gets him. All right. So at this crime, the authorities discovered a shell casing as well as a tarot card. Can you guess what tarot card was there?
Death.
Mm-hmm.
That was just
cheesy, huh?
That was just a guess.
Fucking cheesy is what it is.
That was very cheesy.
But they're doing effectively terrorism.
Yeah.
And they're trying to fucking freak people out. So whether they left the shell casing there intentionally, which I don't think so. These guys are stupid. They definitely left the tarot card there intentionally.
Yeah.
Try to freak people out. So, discover the tarot card with the tarot card of death and inscribed with the phrase, "Call me God," on the front and 3 separate lines on the back. For you, Mr. Police, code, quote, "Call me God," quote, "Do not release to the press."
Egotistical much?
Little bit. Despite police reports to honor the request and not release information about the card to the press, details were made public pretty much immediately. And it was about 1 day later, they're like, look at this. look at this thing. Just fucking blown up. You know, be like, hey, look at that. That's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
So on October 9th at 8:18 p.m., 53-year-old civil engineer Dean Harold Myers was shot dead while pumping gasoline at a Sunoco gas station in the Prince William County, Virginia, near the city of Manassas. On the morning of October 11th at 9:30 a.m., 53-year-old businessman Kenneth Bridges was shot dead while pumping fuel at an Exxon station off the Interstate 95 in Spotsylvania County, near Fredericksburg. So, now they're targeting people pumping their gas who are stationary, right?
Yeah.
Which seems to be their kind of MO.
Yeah.
People are stationary, unassuming, and shoot them.
Yeah.
So on October, I'm still not done. There's still, I believe there's quite a few more.
Oh, I
yeah,
believe it.
we're not even. I don't think we're even close to being done talking about just the shootings, the murders. On October 14th at 9:15 p.m., 43-year-old Linda Franklin, an FBI intelligence analyst who was a resident of Arlington County, Virginia, was shot dead in a covered parking lot at a Home Depot in Fairfax County, Virginia, just outside of Falls Church at Seven Corners Shopping Center. The police received what seemed to be a very good lead after the October 14th shooting, but later determined that the witness was inside the Home Depot parking lot at the time and was fucking lying. Why?
What the fuck?
Why?
Like, there's no point in doing that because all you're doing is putting them on a fucking goose chase.
All you're doing is hindering an investigation.
Yeah. There's there's criminal charges for that, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Whack your pee-pee or something.
I don't think that's...
It's cock and ball torture.
I don't think that's...
should be.
You're fighting real hard for it, huh?
I was thinking. Just thinking that it might be kind of funny.
It might be kind of funny.
Might be a good bit.
I don't think they're thinking
You
about
join the FBI and they're like this guy just sits down in like the in the like in the lunchroom. You know? It's like
think tank.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking like it's like the cafeteria. I'm gonna sit down and just like break room. You know, sits down. It's like, what do you guys do? It's like, oh yeah, we're criminal analysts. We try to look at the psychology of a killer and try to and a criminal and try to find out characteristics and see if we can identify them. It's like, what do you do? It's like, oh, I investigate like cyber crimes, stuff like that. It's like, what about the new guy? It's like, he's part of the CBT detachment. It's like, CBT? It's like, I've had to crush so many men's balls because they lied. All they do was just come. I never win. They always just like it. Anyway.
Yeah?
I don't know. I think it'd be funny. It's a funny bit. In my head, it's funny, but in reality, that's just the government torturing people. They do it anyway.
I was gonna say that wouldn't be the first time. Yeah.
Anyway, his name was that fucking dipshit's name was Matthew Dowdy. And he was subsequently convicted for interfering with the investigation. And they crushed his nuts. By this point, the public concerns about safety gas stations have begun to the public's perception of the crime and everything. Everybody's already wigging out naturally. Understandably. So they were like, nope. And so gas stations began to put up tape to conceal their customers. Tarps. Jesus. Tarps. They began putting up tarps around gas stations to pull your car in. So you can't see people are pumping gas. So while some people crouched to pump gas, while others waited in their cars, and Malvo Muhammad did not commit any more shootings for 5 days before striking again. On October 19th at 8 p.m., 37-year-old Jeffrey Hopper was shot in a parking lot near the Ponderosa Steakhouse on Route 54 in Ashland, Virginia, about 90 miles away, 90 miles south of Washington near Interstate 95. His wife, Stephanie, called out to passerby who phoned for an ambulance, enabling Hopper to survive his injuries. Authorities discovered a 4-page letter from the shooter in the woods, demanded $10 million, and made threats to children.
Great.
Right. 2 days later, on October 21st, Richmond area police arrested 2 men, one with a white van outside of a gas station. The men turned out to be undocumented immigrants with no connection to the shooter. The pair were subjected to cavity searches and remained in federal custody before being subsequently deported. So now they're just like,
Anyone
fucking
who looks at all suspicious.
Yeah, anyone who fits their version of their narrative, they're going to start grabbing and detaining.
Yeah.
A day later, on October 22nd, ride-on bus driver Conrad Johnson, 35 years old, was shot at 5:56 a.m. while standing on the steps of the Grand Prix Road in Aspen Hill, Maryland. Johnson, unfortunately, did die of his injuries. On the same day, Chief Moose released part of the content of the shooter's letters, which he declares, quote, "Your children are not safe anywhere at any time."
Ugh.
Yes. So, no shootings occurred on October 23rd. The day is significant for 2 events, though. First, ballistic experts confirmed Johnson was the 10th fatality in the Beltway shootings. Second, in a yard in Tacoma Park, Maryland, police searched with metal detectors for bullets, shell casings, and other evidence that might provide a link to the shooters. And they found a tree stump believed to have been used for target practice was seized.
Oh, shit.
So, with all these shooting victims, including so it was like 7 shooting victims, including 6 deaths in the first 15 hours in the D.C. area spree. 15 hours.
Jeez.
Hours. The North American media soon devoted extensive coverage to the shootings. By the middle of October 2002, all news television networks were covering the aftermath of each attack, with the coverage often lasting hours at a time. The famous Fox show America's Most Wanted, which I fucking love, which is the reason that I love true crime. John Walsh, fucking love that man. Love that man to death.
Give him a big old kiss on the forehead.
Dude, I would just pick him up and be like, I love you and you're an America treasure. Love that man to death. He devoted an entire episode of America's Most Wanted to the shooters in hopes of aiding to their capture.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Much of the coverage of the case in the New York Times, was written by a guy named Jason Blair and was subsequently found to be fabricated because he's a douchebag. The ensuing scandal resulted in the resignations of the newspaper's 2 top editors because they were like, whoops.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
So, during the weeks when the attacks occurred, public fear mounted of the apparently random shootings, especially in relation to such sites as service stations and parking lots of large stores where many had taken place. People pumping gasoline at gas stations kept moving, hoping to present a smaller target. Lisa Notgrass of Lake Jackson, Texas, recommended the media that they put up tarps around the areas, which is why they started doing that.
Yeah.
Also, many people with access tried to fuel their vehicles at naval bases of the National Naval Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, as they felt it was safer to be inside a guarded fence. Government buildings such as the White House, U.S. Capitol, and Supreme Court building, and memorial tourist attractions at the National Mall in Washington, D.C. also received heightened security. For the duration of the attacks, the United States Senate pages received a driven police escort to and from the United States Capitol every day and were not allowed to leave their residence hall for any reason except to go to work.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Drivers of white vans, box trucks were viewed with suspicion from other motorists, as initial media reports indicated the suspects might be driving such vehicle, which ended up being incorrect.
Yeah.
But everybody was fucking wigged out, dude. Because these dudes are shooting random fucking people.
Yeah.
Like, and you're living in D.C., you see a white van, you see a box truck, see any vehicle that drives slow, dude.
You're going to be a little suspicious.
Fucking A, man. You start looking around, like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
So after the specific threat against children was delivered, many school groups many school groups canceled field trips and outdoor athletic activities based on safety concerns. At the height of public fear, some school districts such as Orenco County Public Schools and Hanover County Public Schools, after the Ponderosa shooting, closed school for the day. Completely closed. Right?
I think that's fair.
Responsible thing to do.
Yeah.
Other schools canceled all outdoor activities and after the shooting in Connecticut and Aspen Hills intersection. And everybody just was like,
buckled down.
They buckled down real hard. Extra police officers were placed in schools because of this fear. They got more school resource officers. They heightened police in the area, in all areas.
Yeah.
Because it's happening randomly. So Charles Moose, which is a great name for the chief of police of Montgomery County, he really is like, we got to dive into this investigation. Really got to figure out what the hell's going on. So the ATF, which is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, the FBI and the U.S. Secret Service and the Virginia Department of Transportation and other police departments and jurisdictions where shootings took place begin to come together. So they have both federal, local, state, got all the people, and they're pulling them all together.
Yeah.
Creating this huge task force. The Secret Service, it's pretty crazy to me, but I get it's also in D.C. But that's just wild. The Secret Service is like, what do you need?
What's up?
Yeah. So make this shit happen.
Yeah.
Right? So police responded within minutes to any reported attacks during the 3 weeks of the sniper attacks, cordoning off nearby roads and highways and intercepting all drivers, thereby grinding traffic to a halt for hours at a time. Police canvassed the area, talking to people, and collected surveillance tapes. They fucking went hard.
Yeah.
It's terrorism. They're in it, and this is post 9/11.
Yeah.
So they're even more heightened, right?
Right.
If this shit happened in the 70s,
nothing.
No, the fucking FBI would be like, what do you want us to do about it? You know?
That's crazy. I got other things to go do.
Yeah.
So.
I'm pretty busy.
I gotta go run some human experiments, so.
You're gonna go crush a dude's balls. Nice.
Catch you on the flip side.
So by that Friday night after all this stuff happens, right? Yeah. And this task force and everything gets created. By Friday night, October 4th, the 5 shootings on October 3rd and 2 on October 2nd were forensically linked to the same gun.
Oh, damn.
Pretty quick.
That was gonna be one of my questions. Was how did they not forensically connect all of them?
They did very quickly.
Good.
Yes. So eyewitness accounts of the attacks were mostly confused and spotty, as most eyewitness accounts usually are.
Yeah.
Hotlines were set up for, as we talked about, to help flood in tips. Early tips, like I said, we're talking about a box truck with letterings on it, 2 men inside, speeding down away from the Leisure World Shopping Center after the shooting. But it was incorrect. Talk about maybe seeing a gray car in the Spotsylvania shooting. No one really knows.
Yeah.
Right?
Everyone's confused.
So, these fucking douchebags attempted to engage the police in dialogue, compelling Moose to tell media the cryptic messages intended for the sniper. At several scenes of the shooting, tarot cards were left as calling cards, including one of the death, right?
Yeah.
This information, like I said, was leaked And at later scenes, the shooter left long handwritten notes sealed inside plastic bags, including one that had the rambling and the "I want $10 million and kids' lives are at stake." A telephone call from the shooters was traced to a payphone in the gasoline station of Henrico County, Virginia. Police missed the suspects by a matter of a few minutes and initially detained occupants of a van at another payphone at the same intersection.
Great.
So,
they couldn't have thought it was going to be that easy.
Yeah. So, on the phone call, the sniper was like boasting his cleverness. And he mentioned previous unsolved murder in Montgomery. This is identified to be the September 21st shooting at the liquor store in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah.
He was just like glazing himself and being a fucking huge dork. Basically being like, you're not going to catch me. There's nothing you can do. I'm going to continue doing what I do until you give me my $10 million. On October 17th, authorities said they matched Malvo's fingerprint found at Benjamin Tasker Middle School site and one lifted from the Montgomery liquor store. After confirming the link between these two crime scenes, the FBI was able to link these fingerprints to Malvo due to his fingerprint arrest being from Washington State. Get fucked.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
Not at all. What is very surprising is that they were able to just that wasn't just in the system. I get it's also post 9/11 to modern age.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool though. They're like this guy, he's sitting there, he's like, I'm the greatest, I'm the coolest. You're not gonna get me. And then they're like, your name is Malvo? What a fucking dumb name. And he's like, ugh. So after further research into Malvo's background, found out his close ties with John Allen Muhammad.
Yeah.
Right.
That was going to be a quick find.
So, yeah, after apparent lack of progress publicly, federal authorities were making significant headway on their investigation and developed leads in Washington State, Alabama, and New Jersey. They had learned that Muhammad's ex-wife, who had obtained a protective order against him, lived near Capitol Beltway in Clinton, in an unincorporated community in suburban Prince George's County, Maryland, adjacent to Montgomery County. See? It's all coming together.
It's all coming together.
Spirit's going to fall asleep again.
Yeah, probably.
So, information was also developed about an automobile purchased in New Jersey by Muhammad.
Oh.
A Caprice, perhaps? It was. So, police discovered that a New Jersey license plate number issued for Muhammad's 1990 Chevrolet Caprice had been checked by radio patrol car several times near shooting locations in various jurisdictions in several states, but the car had not been stopped because law enforcement computer networks did not indicate that it was connected to any criminal activity, and they were focused exclusively on finding a fucking white van.
Yeah.
This car keeps popping up at shooting locations.
And they
go,
nah.
That's crazy.
Everyone's like, and I saw this Caprice. And they're like, huh, it's crazy. What about that white van, though, that we heard about once?
So, October 8th, 2002, Baltimore Police Department investigated a dark blue Chevrolet Caprice parked near the Jones Fall Expressway at 28th Street in Baltimore with a person sleeping inside of it. The officers were concerned that the driver's license was from the Washington State while the vehicle was registered in New Jersey. Although the vehicle was suspicious enough for them to investigate, and it fit the description of the vehicle associated with the shootings in Washington, D.C. 5 days earlier.
Please tell me they did not just ignore it.
Officers did not question the occupants extensively, nor did they search the vehicle. You guys killing people?
No.
All right. About the extent of that.
That's fucking crazy. Like, there's no reason that they shouldn't have, like,
looked into it.
Been a little more suspicious at all.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Those cops have no idea that they could have easily just died.
Yeah.
The guy could have just killed him.
Literally so close.
And yet they were like
crazy.
They just didn't even bother to really question it. So authorities were quick to issue a media alert to the public to be on the lookout for a dark blue Chevrolet Caprice for the public as well as for law enforcement agencies throughout the region. This was a major change from the white box truck because they were like, "What do you mean we're not looking for a box truck?" And then meanwhile, those two cops were like, "Fuck, we had them."
You see, if we had gone over there and we'd actually talked to them and like it turned out it was them, we would have a lot of paperwork to fill out. So we just didn't.
Yeah.
We just said, "Y'all good?" They said, "Yeah," and we just left. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. So, Muhammad and Malvo are driving in their 1990 Chevrolet Caprice, and they roll up to a rest area after a long day of attempting to shoot people, and are quickly, very rapidly swarmed by law enforcement. Glass shards on the ground are a result of the shattering of the car's windows during the arrest. They fucked these dudes up. They rolled in, pinned that shit in, smashed into them.
Yeah.
You know, show your fucking hand, and they pull them out of the car. Right. So this crime spree then comes to a close at 3:15 a.m. on October 24th, 2002, when they're found sleeping in their car off of the Interstate 70 in Myersville, Maryland, and they were arrested on federal weapons charges. So you're probably wondering, how did they get tipped off?
Yeah.
Right? It's not like they were just like, there he is, and then they went and got him.
No.
2 911 calls come in from a refrigerator mechanic, Whitney Donahue, at the rest stop. Right?
Mm-hmm.
4 hours earlier, Montgomery County Police Chief Charles Moose had relayed this cryptic message about the sniper. Quote, "You have indicated that you want us to do and say certain things. You have asked us to say, quote, we have caught the sniper like a duck in a noose. We understand that you're hearing us say this important. Hearing us say this is important to you." Moose asked the media to, quote, "carry the message accurately and often." This statement is referred to as a Cherokee fable, which I'm not sure what that means.
Like it's like I'm sure it relates back to like just a very common saying from like a story or a fable that was told within like Cherokee tribes.
Oh,
would be my assumption.
That's okay, great.
Gotcha.
Still doesn't explain anything to me because I saw that pop up a lot when I was reading that they called it like a Cherokee fable, and I'm not sure what that means.
Oh, I'll look it up.
Thank you. There was enough in this story as is, so I was like, I could look into this, and I didn't because I'm stupid. So, Trooper First Class D. Wayne Smith of Maryland State Police was first to arrive on scene and immediately used his blue light unmarked police vehicle to block off the exit by positioning the car sideways between two parked tractor trailers. As more troopers arrived, they effectively sealed off the rest area at both entrance and exit ramps without the suspects being aware of their rapidly growing presence. Later, as truck driver Ron Latz was attempting to exit the rest area, the tractor trailer was commandeered by troopers who used the truck in place of a police car to complete the roadblock at the exit. And while these fucking dipshits were sleeping in their car, law enforcement has surrounded them. So what do? They call in SWAT. And SWAT comes in and beats the fucking brakes off these guys. Rips them out of the car, busts out their windows, rips them out, right? And secures them. Then everybody comes in, starts searching the vehicle. And what do they find? A stolen Bushmaster 223 caliber weapon and a bipod were found in the back of Muhammad's car. Ballistic tests later conclusively linked the deceased's rifle to 11 of the 14 shootings, including one which no one was hurt. So, they did like full on, there's a whole section here about them doing like weapons testing and undeniable evidence. Undeniable.
Of course.
Yes. The trunk of the Chevrolet was modified to roll as a, quote, rolling sniper's nest. The back seat was modified to allow the person to have access to the trunk. Once inside, the sniper could lay prone and take shots through a small hole created for that purpose near the license plate.
That's fucking crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
I feel like that part of the story sounds so familiar because there was a Criminal Minds episode where they used that concept of in a trunk with a sniper.
Yes.
Which is
fiction based on reality.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a lot of their episodes. But like when you said that, I was like, oh, I have heard like, obviously like it's not all completely true, but like they do use bits and pieces of real life, like stories. And I was like, oh shit.
It's good fiction writing.
Also, the Cherokee fable that they're referring to is the one where a rabbit brags that he can catch a duck. He throws a noose over the neck of the duck, but it flies away with the rabbit hanging on. Eventually, the rabbit must let go, landing it in a hollow tree stump. The animal has to eat his own fur for food and is embarrassed by his appearance when he finally escapes, which is basically like his boastfulness got him in trouble kind of thing.
Great.
And eventually was what destroyed him. So that's what they mean. They're by it. It's a Cherokee fable.
See, when I asked what a Cherokee fable is, that should have been the answer. That sounded smart as fuck. Hell yeah, dude. What's up? High five.
Thank you, LA Times, for making me sound smart. But yeah, that's what that means. Is basically it's like Icarus. He flew too close to the sun. Kind of similar concept.
Yes. Makes sense to me. This guy's a douchebag. That's all I have to say about him.
Yeah.
Both these guys.
Oh yeah.
So we've been trying to establish a motive throughout this entire episode. Well, investigators and the prosecution suggested during pre-trial motions that Muhammad intended to kill his second ex-wife, Mildred, who he had felt had estrangement from his children. According to this hypothesis, the other shootings were intended to cover up the motive for his crime.
I feel like that's a lot of people just to cover up one crime.
They were just trying to kill people just because they wanted to kill people.
I agree. I think that that's more likely. I don't think it was like a oh man, I killed one person, now I gotta kill numerous other people across the country to make it look not as suspicious.
They believed that like if he went and killed his ex-wife, right, they would be like, oh, it was just some random serial killer or like terrorist dude.
Yeah.
Right? Not John Muhammad.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Well, that's their theory. That is their theory.
Okay.
Which I'm
on the fence with that one.
I could say it makes sense, but at the same time it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So during the attacks, Muhammad frequented the neighborhood where she lived, and some of the incidents occurred nearby. Additionally, he had earlier made threats against her. Mildred herself said that she was his intended target, claiming that when the police first approached her, one officer said, "Ms. Muhammad, did you know you were the target?" However, the judge was like, "Don't present a theory that during the trial, because it's not like established." You know?
Yeah, you don't have a basis for it, and using it as quote unquote evidence against him will actually be probably a downfall.
Yes.
Using it.
So as for Malvo, when he was imprisoned, he wrote like a number of erratic like letters about what he termed jihad against the United States. Quote, I have been accused on my mission. All I know is I'm going to suffer now. Because of his rants and drawings featured not only such figures as like Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, but other characters from a film series, The Matrix. It's 2002. These musings were dismissed as like immaterial.
The ramblings of a madman.
Pretty much, effectively, yeah. Some investigators reportedly said that they had all but eliminated terrorist ties or political ideologies as a motive. As far as we know, they didn't have any ties to Al Qaeda.
Fair.
But
That doesn't mean
do I
they
feel
can't.
like they idolized them and
Yeah.
idolized Saddam Hussein after the terrorist attack, and of September 11th? Yes. Nonetheless, in at least one of the ensuing murder trials, the Virginia court found Muhammad guilty of killing, quote, pursuant to the direction or order of terrorism.
Makes sense to me.
Terrorism.
Yeah.
Yes. At the 2006 trial of Muhammad, Malvo testified that the aim of the killing spree was to kidnap children for the purpose of extorting money from the government to, quote, set up a camp to train children how to terrorize cities. Well, the ultimate goal of being to shut things down across the United States. Their goal was terrorism.
Yeah.
That was their motive, was terrorism.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
Makes sense to me.
Malvo stated that Muhammad was driven by his hatred for white people and that his belief, quote, the white man is the devil. His plan was to kill 6 white people per day for 30 days. And when he told Malvo, he wanted to shoot pregnant white women. Yes, that is correct.
All right.
So, before the trial, Chief Moose engaged, which I love Chief Moose. I think that's, I hope that they had some fun, lighthearted things with Chief Moose. I hope he had I don't know how he was as a chief of police, but I hope they at least made some really cool Chief Moose like merch, because they didn't. They missed out.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool. It's like a moose and he's got a gun or something like that. I don't know. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
He's chief police. It's dumb. Anyway, so he engaged in a publicity tour for his book on the sniper investigation. We went on to fucking everything. It was like the Tonight Show, Dateline, Today Show. He was everywhere. He really capitalized on this. Wrote a book. This is before the trial. Wrote a book. Yeah, he was fast.
Damn.
So the defense goes, can we get a change of venue, please? Because this is in D.C. and in Virginia, and this is not going to be good for us. It's not going to be good for you anyway. But they were like, sure. And it was held in independent cities of Chesapeake and Virginia Beach in southeastern Virginia, more than 100 miles away from the closest alleged attack. Still doesn't matter. National attention.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about this case.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
During their trials in the fall of 2003 involving two of the victims in Virginia, Muhammad and Malvo were each found guilty of murder and weapons charges. The jury in Muhammad's case recommended that he be sentenced to death, while Malvo's jury recommended life in prison without the possibility of parole instead of the death penalty. The judges concurred in both cases. You're going to the chair, bitch. Or probably lethal injection. I know actually what happens. There's notes later on. Don't worry about it.
I'm ready.
So, Alabama law enforcement authorities allege that the snipers engaged in a series previously unconnected attacks on October 2nd in Montgomery, Alabama, and they were correct.
Yeah.
Initial convictions and sentencing, Will Jarvis, the assistant Prince William County prosecutor, stated that he would wait to decide whether to try Malvo on capital charges in the jurisdiction until the U.S. Supreme Court ruled on whether juveniles may be subject to the penalty of execution.
Oh, shit.
And they go, can we kill this kid? Yeah. They have to wait for the U.S. Supreme Court to be like, shouldn't we kill this kid? Yeah.
I mean, I understand, they're going for the harshest punishment. Just not what I expected for them to be like.
So far, we have one death penalty,
Yeah. And
then the life without parole.
yeah.
And then while that other case is pending, and then we get to October 2004, under a plea agreement, Mulvo pleaded guilty to another case in the Spotsylvania County for another murder to avoid possible death penalty sentence, and agreed to additional sentencing of life imprisonment without parole. And Mulvo had yet to face trial in Prince William County. So, yes, I feel like, hear me out. They've already admitted to terrorism.
Yeah.
He's already been convicted of life without possibility of parole. You're gonna give him life without possibility of parole again? Those don't just stack. There's just like you're like, yeah, just toss another one on there. No, I get he's also like a juvenile.
Yeah.
But like, you're a terrorist. you're literally the literal definition of a terrorist.
Yeah. I don't understand stacking.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think they do it in like on a fucking off chance that they like one is overturned, you have something like else.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's their like thinking. So they're like, well, if we just fucking stack them, you can't overturn them all.
Yeah. So in March of 2005, the Supreme Court ruled in Roper versus Simmons that the Eighth Amendment prohibits execution for crimes committed while under the age of 18. So they go like, no. In light of this Supreme Court decision, the prosecutors in Prince William County decided not to pursue the death penalty against Mulva.
Okay.
Mainly because they can't.
Yeah.
So as Mulva was 17 at the time of the crimes, 17 years old, time of the crimes, he can no longer face the death penalty, but could be extradited to Alabama, Louisiana, and other states for prosecution.
Well.
Yeah. So he was like 20 years old, and he was being held at Virginia's maximum security Red Onion State Prison, which sounds lovely.
Red Onion State Prison?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
They couldn't think of a better name?
I think is Virginia. I guess Virginia's the Red Onion State.
Are they?
I guess.
When
I
did you
assume
learn this
Red
stuff?
Onion State Prison.
Well, I don't know. That's weird.
I don't know fucking states' cool titles, but Red Onion is definitely not one of them.
What's your state's vegetable?
Onion.
Not just any onion, though. Red onion.
So, the Virginia Supreme Court Justice Donald Lemons wrote in his decision, Muhammad, with his sniper team partner Malvo, randomly selected innocent victims. With calculation, extensive planning, premeditation, and ruthless disregard for life, Muhammad carried out his cruel scheme of terror. That's his closing statement.
It is
Fucking
true.
hits hard. So, on April 22nd, 2005, Muhammad's death penalty was affirmed by the Virginia Supreme Court. And they go, you're going to die. So they ruled it and sentenced him because the murder was a part of an act of terrorism.
Yeah.
So they're like, you're done. This line of reasoning was based on the handwritten note demanding $10 million. The court rejected an argument by defense lawyers that Muhammad could not be sentenced to death because he was not the triggerman of the killings and linked him to Malvo.
Yeah, no, he
Lily
can still
Kim
be
Malvo.
charged, bud.
Yeah. So, on September 16th, 2009, the Circuit Court Judge Mary Grace O'Brien set the execution date of lethal injection for November 10th, 2009. And his attorneys petitioned the U.S. Supreme Court for a stay of execution, but you know what they said?
No, get fucked.
So go fuck yourself. So, day comes, November 10th, 2009. John Muhammad is brought into the execution chamber at Greensville Correction Center in Girard, Virginia, and is put to death by lethal injection.
Damn.
Yes.
Oh, well.
Yep. The procedure began at 9:06 p.m. Eastern Standard, and 5 minutes later, he was fucking dead. Later.
The anniversary of that was yesterday.
Yeah. Isn't that... It's because when I wanted to record it.
I know. I'm sorry.
I was going to release it. It's fine. So, 27 people, including victims' family members, came and watched. Sat in the room, watched the window as he died. Hell yeah. Having that final kind of like being like, fucking got him, dude.
Yeah.
You know, it's over. More trials ensue. They passed these dudes back and forth, you know, before the execution.
All these different places.
Yeah, they go on and on and on. So during like the May 2006 trial for John Muhammad, Malvo Lee took the stand and confessed to all 17 murders.
Damn.
Confessed to it. He had like a bunch of psychological counseling, admitted that he was lying at the earlier Virginia trial where he admitted to being the trigger man for every shooting. There was so many fucking just bullshit lies. But they got him.
Yeah. Good.
Yes. And it continues to go on, and I could read you all this insane media issues that happened during this, like, you know, news stations and newspapers just lying, being like, it's this vehicle and this thing did this, and just spreading all this misinformation to sell the story of terrorism in the United States.
Yeah.
To make money. But in the end, Muhammad is dead. John Muhammad is dead. And 2004, in memory of the sniper victims, the Brookside Gardens Reflection Terrace was built. It was a memorial to victims of the D.C. sniper attacks and is located in Brooks Garden in Wheaton, Maryland. An additional memorial was constructed in 2014 in the Government Plaza of Rockville, Maryland. As for Lee Malvo, allow me to, I thought I put this note in there.
I assume he's still alive.
He is still alive.
And rotting in prison?
That is correct.
Sounds good.
He is currently 39 years old.
He's got a long time left.
Yeah. We'll probably watch him die in our lifetime.
Probably.
Then we'll clap. And that's the story of the DC Snipers.
That's fucking crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a wild story. Like, I mean, like the whole, I mean, just everything.
Yeah. That's wild.
So it was at the end 17 people were killed and 10 others were wounded, right?
Yeah.
And you would think that this happened over the course of a few years.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it was
10 months.
It's
17 people, 10 others wounded. And a lot of people barely survived. Like, just, I mean, it could have been 27 people.
Yeah.
You know? That one lady working at the store with a bullet wrist paps her head, you know?
Yeah.
Pure luck.
Truly. That's fucking so crazy.
Pretty nuts. Pretty wild story, eh?
It is.
And if you thought that story was crazy, like, share, subscribe. You know what to do. Raise 5 stars. Do that fun stuff. You know the business. I'll do all the plugs in a minute. Give spirits and pats here. You guys can't see.
She's so asleep. Hold on. No. You still can't see her. She just moved.
Yep.
You can see kind of what my hand is. She's like dead asleep right now.
It's very funny. So this episode's going to be coming out pretty much the moment that it's done rendering. So odds are if you're listening to this on audio, hell yeah, what's up? If you're watching this on video, you know what I'm saying? HGO 150 is coming up after this.
150.
And if everything goes according to plan, which I hope that it does, I have a fun episode for you. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be a pretty cool episode. And no spoilers, but it'll be very, very fun. And every 50 episodes, we try to do something cool, try to go someplace, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do. But I just want to take a minute and just say thank you. This I check our stats quite a bit. And
I used to, and then you changed the password, and now I can't.
yeah, I got to get to the information. The podcast is growing quite a bit, and we're gaining more and more new listeners each and every day. And I'm highly grateful for each and every single one of you. If you've been here since day 1 or been since day 20 or whatever it may be, if it's your first time watching, listening, thank you. We're very thankful that we have been able to start this off as just us just talking about things that we already would talk about.
Yeah.
Weird stuff. And being able to dive into some of the craziest stories ever and being able to get to share that and have this cool set, and it's just it's very, very lovely, and I'm very thankful.
Yeah, I am as well.
And one day, when hopefully if we continue to grow into next year, I've already been subtly working on it, but I do want to do a local live show. And if we can figure out how to stream that, we will. And we'll do it for free. But I basically, no spoilers, but it's a mix of comedy and spookiness.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Talk about cool stuff. But go check out episode 1 of Blazed and Bewitched. We're hopefully shooting our second episode very soon. Waiting on some calls back from some people about some very historic locations, which will be very exciting.
Yeah.
And then, let's see, what else? Check out Joey Edwards' art. It's up there. It's above Taylor's head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Joey wants us to talk about his art after talking about 17 people being murdered, but Joey, there's your art. That's cool. Told you it's part of our set forever. But, yeah, very thankful for each and every one of you. If you want to follow us, you can at HGOPodcast on Instagram and TikTok. Want to send us some hate mail, some love mail, or your own personal story about an strange encounter that you may have had, scary, ridiculous, whatever, HGOPodcast, gmail.com. If you want to follow me directly on my socials, you can. I Have the Haunted. Let's see. I have a TikTok that I don't really post up on. There's some content on there. My Instagram and my Twitch. Twitch.tv/I Have the Haunted. I'll pass it off to Taylor.
Hello. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lunar Thrill. That's all I got. I'm not really out there. Yeah, I try to post on TikTok. Usually it's things about dogs. Surprise. You're being enveloped in my tism nest.
I almost spit my fucking drink. I'm trying to clear up this heavy gin and tonic.
You can also follow our dog. Oh, look at you. You're up. You can follow her at Spirit the Turf.
Spirit the Turf.
She's pretty sleepy. She won't look at the camera because she's too tired.
Look at this way.
Hey.
You're looking the wrong way. I thought we trained you better.
Hey, look. Look over there.
Look at that way.
Look at it. Look.
Turn your silly little head.
Oh.
She's so tired. She's like melting. She's like, no, I'm tired.
She's like, I don't think so.
I don't want to be on a podcast.
She's like, I didn't sign up for this life. I signed up for not this.
Yeah.
I signed up for sleepy.
And
time.
I know I promised that Beyond the Omens was going to come out near Halloween, but we got busy. So I apologize.
Life happens.
But it'll be out and it'll be a thing. And I just wanted to share a little thing, little secret. There's going to be another show coming back to the network. It's The Doc. The Doc's coming back.
Yay! I'm so excited to torture you guys more.
Great. The Doc is coming back. There's not an official date yet, but we're getting our shooting schedule all lined up. So The Doc comedy podcast is coming back. It's going to be something. There's a lot that's happened since the last time we recorded.
Yeah.
And there'll be a fresh start for The Doc. And there also may be another show starting, but
And a new face?
new faces, yes.
Ooh.
Very exciting. And some familiar ones, of course.
Yeah.
But remember to stay spooky.
Stay haunted.
And I love you.